pivotal as the gateway in achieving the transformative agenda. The familiarization visit by the French ambassador to Nigeria to this strategic ministry provided an opportunity to refresh minds on how to ensure speedy follow-up and implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding between France and Nigeria during President Tinubu's state visit to France.
The two presidents have set up together an ambitious roadmap so that we can scale up the partnership. And in that regard, communication, information is a core issue, where France can provide, hopefully, some support, some capabilities, some know-how.
That Nigeria is indeed very serious about all those MOUs that were signed. And we will ensure that all of them are executed to the letter. Also, thank you for extending this invitation to the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, and to me particularly, to participate in the Nigerian Business Forum that is going to happen on the 10th of April 2025 in Paris. We will use that platform also to extend the best wishes of the Nigerian people and Nigerian government, but also to take the message of consolidation that the President is desirous for us to give in this year. This year, 2025, is the year of economic and social consolidation of the Nigerian nation, as promised by Mr. President. And our economy, as we have heard severally, is already beginning to turn the corner.
Meanwhile, the minister also played host to leaders of the All Progressives Congress 11th year anniversary and 2nd year anniversary committee. Here, the government spokesperson acknowledged that political party activities should be a collective one and not for those occupying public offices alone, especially now that the government of renewed hope is working towards enduring economic prosperity.
So much has happened in the last 11 years. Of course, there are a lot of ups and downs, as you can find with every political arrangement and with every reformist administration. I know that reforms are not easy anywhere, and for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have taken this challenge of reform, he could easily have taken the easy way out, but he chose not to. He chose to take the difficult but more assured way of bringing Nigeria back on the foot of sustainable prosperity.
But I believe President Bola Tinubu is doing his best and will continue to support him. That's why we wanted to come in and enlighten Nigerians on his achievement for 2 years.
In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
With the ongoing saga between the Senate Presidents, Godswill Akpabio, and the Kogi Central Senator taking a dimension further, threatening women representation in the National Assembly, Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, has promised to broker peace between the parties. The minister made the commitments while addressing State House correspondents at a periodic briefing organized by the presidential media team called Meet the Press. State House correspondent Musbao Danwahab reports.
Our intention is to ensure that we empower women so that we can contribute significantly to the $1 trillion goal.
Turn of the Women Affairs Minister to meet State House correspondents. It is on the occasion of the International Women's Day, and it's been 30 years since Beijing Declaration asking for 35% affirmative action, and 20 years after the Maputo Protocol came into effect calling for the right of women on the continent. But then, the clamor remains a distant score at federal and state levels in Nigeria. And now, the Women Affairs Minister is considering a different approach to attaining the objectives.
But times are gone where you bully people to give you things. The last time we took the gender bill to the National Assembly, we blocked the gate. There's 3 entrances to the National Assembly. When you block one, they're going to use the other 2. So this time around, we're going to do it differently. We'll do it in a very responsible manner. We'll mentor women so that when they get there, they also are able to serve and, open doors for other more women to come into the space.
Highlighting various economic empowerment programs being carried out and to be intensified by the government of the day, the minister says the administration is taking more intentional steps towards improving women's access to finance, addressing gender-based violence and female genital mutilation. In addition, she promises to intensify mentoring and advocacy to further strengthen women's capacity in preparing them for greater public responsibilities.
And we're also looking at a leadership academy or leadership institute whereby women are being trained and mentored properly by industry experts on how they can be able to. So those are the different initiatives. And I also like to use this opportunity to thank Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Her renewed initiative has played a major role in empowering women and families and the vulnerable people across Nigeria. We would like to also support in the areas of the Every Home a Garden. It's a budget line in our budget.
And coincidentally too, at the time of one of the talks of the town, a gender-based back and forth in the Senate, Senator Natasha, now suspended, and the long-standing clamor for an improved women representation, particularly in political offices, is receiving a setback. But here, she promises a timely intervention.
In the last assembly, we had 9 senators that are women. This assembly, we have 4. We don't want to be losing any member in the Senate or in the House. We want to increase the numbers. It's unfortunate we're going to be brokering peace. We engage all the stakeholders to ensure that they temper justice with mercy for peace to reign, and they will continue to also sensitize so that we learn to work better together as women and men. Thank you.
From the State House, Musbah and Wahab, NT News.
And the Senate is working with relevant stakeholders to have in place legislations that would remove barriers from women participation in parliaments and other arms of government. And this position was amplified at a special event organized by the Senate's leadership to mark this year's International Women's Day. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the Minister of Women Affairs was among dignitaries at the event.
The presence of the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, flanked by his deputy, Barrow Jibrin, and the Senate leader, Okoyemi Bamidele, the women said, is a testament that they are he for she advocates, and also appreciated the role of the National Assembly in the 1,000% increase of budgetary allocation to the Women Affairs Ministry for 2025.
In Nigeria, we have over 10 MDs of banks that are women. No country can boast of that. And looking at the progress of women encourages us to do more. So I like to see things positively. We've done so well and will continue to intensify effort to ensure that those seats we're looking for do happen.
Akpabio informed the gathering that the legislature is taking steps to expedite action on all gender parity issues, starting with the 35% affirmative action.
I don't want to vote for a woman. Am I the one that will force the woman to go? But we have a solution. We have a solution. I've traveled around. I've seen what is happening in Tanzania. I've seen what is happening in South Africa, Malawi, and so many other countries. They have a certain percentage constitutionally reserved for women. We are discussing that in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If it means tinkering with the act, the Electoral Act, to enable women to have solid say in the parliament, we will do so.
The National Assembly reassures that gender equality is a priority in the ongoing constitution review process. At another fora, the Senate Committee on Science and Technology engaged stakeholders in continuation of the legislative process to amend the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act. This is to ensure processing of raw materials in Nigeria before export.
We will reduce dependence on foreign exchange because every raw material that is in Nigeria must be utilized in Nigeria.
We must ask ourselves, do we continue on this trajectory of economic servitude, or do we take bold and decisive steps towards reclaiming our industrial sovereignty.
The Director General of the Council believes the legislation will stop exportation of wealth and jobs to other countries. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The news at 11 is reaching you on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن.
Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria, VON, cordially invite the general public to its 19th annual Ramadan lecture. Topic: Faith, Politics and Power, the involvement of ulama in politics and its implications. Guest lecturer, Sheikh Maruf Onike Abdulaziz, Chief Missioner, NASFAT Worldwide. Chairman of the occasion, Idi Mukhtar Meha, Minister of Livestock Development. Special Guest of Honor, Muhammad Idris, Minister of Information and National Orientation. Royal Father of the Day, His Highness Mala Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, Emir of Zazzau. Chief Host, His Excellency Malang Ubasani, the Executive Governor, Kaduna State. Host, Malang Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, Director General, NTA. Dr. Muhammad Bulama, Director General, FRCN. Malang Jibril Babandachi, Director General, Voice of Nigeria. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, off Sultan Road, Kaduna. Date, 8th March 2025. Time, 9 a.m. Inshallah. For partnership or advert placement. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Professor Atahiru Jega, former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, as special advisor and coordinator of the Presidential Livestock Reform. A statement from Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, says Jega, former Vice Chancellor of Bayero University, co-chaired the Presidential Livestock Committee with President Tinubu. The committee delivered comprehensive recommendations that underscored sustainable livestock reforms. And one recommendation was the creation of the Livestock Ministry, which now has a minister. Jega, 68, is a member of the International Elections Advisory Council and a pro-chancellor and chairman of the Governing Council of Sa'adatu Rimi University of Education in Kano State. He served as a chairman of INEC between 2010 and 2015, and his appointment as special advisor to the President Tinubu is expected to reinforce the gains of the Presidential Committee and ensure sustained momentum of the reforms already in motion. Amid growing uncertainties in the global energy market threatened by increasing tariffs, Minister of Budgets and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, says the federal government will consider funding from the capital market among other sources for the 2025 budget. This was at his investiture as a fellow of Capital Market Academics of Nigeria in Abuja. Benny Adams has the details.
Oil prices are set to close the week with a 4% weekly decline as uncertainty surrounding U.S. tariff policies raise concern over the demand growth, while major producers prepare to increase output. This is a concern for the Nigerian government as current oil benchmark is selling below $70 per barrel at a time the 2025 budget is based on crude oil price benchmark of $75 per barrel, with an expected oil production of 2.06 million barrels per day. This is in addition to a revenue target of 36.35 trillion naira, representing a 56% coming from oil sales. Hence, the need to explore other revenue sources to fund growth, says the Minister of Budget.
But we need capital. To have capital, we need to mobilize it. We need to convince our citizenry, because like I said, even if you get people with capital out there and you don't have vehicles that can absorb it, we need to orient our society that what tax revenue cannot fund, capital market can fund.
In terms of budget preparation, can also be organizing a symposium. You can have a budget symposium annually, shortly before the presentation of the MTEC. That budget symposium can be with the academia, where you get feedbacks from perspective of the academia regarding budget preparation.
The minister admonished the capital market academics to embark on research that will provide practical ways of marketing Nigeria's investment potential. President of the Capital Market Academics of Nigeria, Professor Uche Uwaleke, alongside the leadership, conferred on the minister Fellowship of the Capital Market Academics. He now joins the think tank of Nigeria's economy and is expected to deliver an inaugural lecture soon. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed 6 chief medical directors, CMDs, for federal government-owned hospitals in Akure, Gombe, Azare, Lafia, Maiduguri, and Kafanchan. The newly appointed CMDs and their hospitals are as follows. Professor Olusegun Sylvester Ojo has been appointed Chief Medical Director of the Federal Teaching Hospital, Akure, Ondo State, a seasoned medical professional. Professor Ojo previously served as a pioneer Chief Medical Director of the Ondo State Specialist Hospital. And Professor Yusuf Muhammad Abdullahi has been reappointed as the Chief Medical Director of the Federal Teaching Hospital, Gombe, following an outstanding performance during his first term. His reappointment underscores his exceptional leadership and contributions to the hospital's growth. Dr. Dauda Abubakar Katagun, the acting Chief Medical Director of the Federal Teaching Hospital, Azare, Bauchi State, has been confirmed as the substantive CMD. Dr. Ikrama Hassan has been appointed as a Chief Medical Director of the newly upgraded Federal Teaching Hospital in Lafia, Nasarawa State, a consultant physician. Dr. Hassan previously served as the Medical Director of the Dalhatu Ibrahim Arab Specialist Hospital before its elevation to a teaching hospital. And Dr. Ali Muhammad Ramat, a renowned consultant, orthopedic and spine surgeon, has been appointed Chief Medical Director of the newly established National Orthopedic Hospital in Maiduguri, Borno State. The Nigerian Immigration Service is training its personnel on the newly introduced e-visa process, a system designed to enhance efficiency. The Controller General of Immigration, Kemi Nandab, says the initiative will streamline visa processing and improve service delivery.
This system is really a departure from what we had initially, to enhance our efficiency and to make sure that we improve, of course, on our processes, the transparency and the strength of what we do.
For the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, the 162 officers undergoing the training have a crucial role to balance economic openness with national security.
To open our borders for economic participation, for tourism, and for all short-stay visas, let's open our borders, let's allow people to come, but let's not do that by compromising national security.
The training aims to equip officers with the skills needed to implement the new system effectively, and authorities say the e-visa process is part of a broader reforms to modernize country's immigration services. The federal government is highlighting about $750 million investments and policy incentives as it showcases Nigeria's vast renewable energy opportunities to a visiting trade delegation from the Netherlands, emphasizing President Tinubu's ongoing initiatives to position the country as West Africa's renewable energy hub. This is as the Managing Director, Rural Electrification Agency, Abba Abubakar Aliyu, engages Dutch trade delegation to Nigeria seeking partnerships on energy access. Tokwe Alabi reports.
Dutch companies have continued to develop high-efficiency lightweight panels for applications suitable for all areas. Despite the growing adoption of solar technology in Nigeria, challenges remain, including gaps in technical training for operation and maintenance. One energy resource that is abundantly available in the country is solar power, with an electrification rate of approximately 60% as it projects a 30% contribution of renewables in the energy mix by 2030. This Dutch trade delegation are engaging key players in the sector to advance solar technology at competitive prices, alongside engineering expertise that can be transferred through partnerships.
It has benefited many rural communities in India, and they thought, why not expand the model to Africa? Because Africa, or Nigeria, I would say, looks a little bit like India 20, 25 years ago.
That Nigerian companies have access to this high type of finance that will help them deliver the goods with Dutch technology, Dutch know-how, and also, most importantly, Nigerian know-how.
And we are trying to connect the dots. So it is companies meeting each other, it's finance meeting the companies, it is about the business environment, it's about understanding what the government does.
For the Managing Director, Rural Electrification Agency, Abba Abubakar Aliyu, and other key players, Nigeria is leveraging renewable energy to drive industrialization, create green jobs, and enhance rural electrification.
Currently, we have close to 500 megawatts of manufacturing capacity in the country, and there is about 2 gigawatt manufacturing capacity that is in the pipeline. So we presented also that opportunity of manufacturing and the incentives the present government has provided.
The fact that we need to get to that 1 trillion GDP, we need power to do that. And if we need power, we need to industrialize. Certainly, this creates a market that a lot more people will come in to have jobs.
For us to really leapfrog and be able to close the energy access gap, we definitely need to partner.
Dutch companies are leveraging Nigeria's solar opportunities, seeking investment, joint ventures and capacity building while contributing to Nigeria's energy transition. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
This is the news at 11 on NTA News 24. Here is another look at our top stories.
This year, 2025, is the year of economic and social consolidation.
Information Minister sells Nigeria as a strategic partner to any country desirous to join its transformative journey towards prosperity. Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, promises to broker peace between Senate President and Kogi Central Senator. Interior Minister attacks immigration officers on national security.
This is NTA News 24.
President Bola Tinubu extends his heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and associates of Prince Donyi Okukpe, a medical director, politician, communicator, and strategist who played a significant role in Nigeria's political landscape. A prominent son of Ikperu Remo in Ogun State, Prince Okukpe served as President Goodluck Jonathan's Senior Special Assistant on Public Affairs and President Olusegun Obasanjo's Special Assistant on Media. During his political career of over 3 decades, Okukpe served as a National Publicity Secretary of the National Republican Convention. He was prominent in the United Nigeria Congress Party, the People's Democratic Party, and the Accord Party, of which he was the national leader. He was most recently the Director General of the Labour Party presidential campaign for the 2023 elections. In a statement by Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, President Tinubu recalls Dr. Okukpe as a bold and articulate advocate for national development, expressing deep sorrow over his passing at a time when his wealth of experience and insight were still invaluable to the nation. The President also commiserates with the government and people of Ogun State, particularly the Ikperu Rema community, who have lost an esteemed son and leader. He recognizes Prince Okukpe's enduring impact on his home state and the deep void his passing leaves in the heart of those who came in direct contact with him. President Tinubu prays that God will grant repose to the departed patriot soul and comfort all. More Nigerians continue to converge on the residence of late Pa Edwin Clark following his death at the age of 97 to pay their respects. Among the notable guests were former Senate President Bukola Saraki, former Governor of Kano State Ibrahim Shekarau, and former Women Affairs Minister Josephine Anene, who, among many others, eulogized the late icon's dedication to uniting Nigerians. In a special tribute to the former leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, many also called for his immortalization in view of his lasting impact on Nigeria's history and the great examples of patriotism he demonstrated.
Don't be afraid. Stand up for the truth. He had his own views and insisted on his own views.
Baba was a very, very great Nigerian, very patriotic. As I said earlier on, very courageous. He believed and stood for what he believed in.
Edwin Clark was everything to us, was everything to every responsible Nigerian, and was a father to us.
We need to name some major national monuments after him.
He was a teacher, was a mentor, philanthropist par excellence.
And that concludes news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Comfort Fashion.